Insurers deny, people die. Insurers deny, people die. Insurers deny, people die. Insurers deny, people die. Our next speaker is David McReynolds with the Socialist Party USA. David McReynolds is a democratic socialist and pacifist activist whose political work stretches through 6 decades. In 1965, David participated in one of the first public burnings of Vietnam War draft cards. In 1980, he became the first openly gay man to run for the office of President of the United States on the Socialist Party ticket. And in 2004, David ran for U.S. Senate on the Green Party line on an explicitly anti-war platform. He has served as an officer for both the War Resisters League and the Socialist Party USA. David McReynolds.
I'm going to stand on the ground or I'm going to fall if I get on it. Louder, can you hear me now? You can't hear me now? All right. Listen, there are some things that ought to be handled privately. What church you go to, if any. Who you decide to marry, if any. What you do sexually, those are private decisions. What pet you choose to have, or no pets, those are private decisions. But we've long since accepted the fact that every child in this country has the right to an education paid for by the government. We have long since accepted that fire departments and police departments are paid for by our taxes to serve all of us. It is time to know that there are some things the government can do and should do, and providing medical care for every single person is one of the things that should not be left to private hands but must be put in public hands. It's not a question of free medical care. We will pay for it out of our taxes. It will cost us less than we're paying now, but we will pay for it out of the taxes. Let me tell you the importance of what you're doing by being here. We do not get change by waiting for the political leadership of this country to give it to us. Both major parties supported the war in Vietnam until a massive student movement, a massive citizens movement rose up and forced a change. We did not get civil rights by waiting for the Democratic and Republican parties. We got it when we had Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and hundreds of thousands of people willing to go to prison rather than to submit to segregation. Then the politicians paid attention. Both major parties supported the Iraq War with the exception of a handful of courageous people. We are only now getting an opposition to that war because of what you have done locally, all across the country. If you want government-funded, single-payer taxes, you're going to have to work for it from below. One final thing. I'm tired of hearing about terrorism and the problems of terrorism. What is more terrible than a mother waking in the middle of the night with a crying child with a high fever and knowing that her only alternative is to go to an emergency ward? She can't go to her family doctor. That is terrorism. What is it when you're sick or old and you're terrified because you don't have the money for the medical care you need? That is terrorism. What is it when we have the corporations prescribing our medicines for us over television? I want that ended. I want the entire pharmaceutical industry socialized. It should not be a private industry. The people should own the drug companies. The people should decide what drugs we need, and our doctors should prescribe them for us, not commercials for profit on television. So because you're here today, because you're in the streets, we have a chance to move ahead and join the rest of the Western world, which got there far ahead of us, and have single payer for anyone of any age that can walk into a hospital when they're sick and know they can get help.